Yo, Darren Finnegan here, 3D Physio coming at ya. So, gonna do a bit of vlogging, and this is gonna be a topic about the psychology around pain. So, I've uncovered the secret behind the biopsychosocial model. So, in essence, broken it down quite simply. I've done a lot of kind of work and a lot of kind of reading in around kind of psychology behind persistent pain and so forth. So, kind of what it comes down to, people who are depressed generally fixate and concentrate on the kind of past, and they're more kind of likely to come into clinic, present and kind of complaining about, quite accurate description of the injury, what's happened since the injury, want to know kind of the specifics of diagnosis. They're going to kind of want to know exactly why someone did this or that, and they're generally going to kind of feel a little bit isolated, can feel a bit down, depressed, frustrated, and kind of just normally present kind of just a bit, so kind of low tone, kind of floppy, okay? So if you think about kind of muscle tone, sympathetic nervous system, when it's jacked up, you have high muscle tone. When you're depressed, it's kind of more low muscle tone. And these are the kind of people that just need to get moving and need to get exercise and then just get some kind of movement and some oomph to them, for want of a better word. So kind of movement and exercise work quite well, and just getting them doing something they enjoy doing. So that is kind of my synopsis on depression. Exercise obviously can help, medication may be needed, and then sometimes you might actually need to delve into kind of what's made them depressed in the first place. With this population, I'll go in-depth education, so they can kind of, and you can work out kind of maybe what was the root cause, what had happened, and show pictures. So literally Google Images is up on my PC at work all day, just so you can connect with that visual kind of learner if they need to kind of see pictures to understand the structures involved. Fear avoidance, excuse me. So fear avoidance is quite interesting. So the fear avoidance people are the ones who avoid something because obviously they've done it before and it's caused pain, so therefore they avoid it again. So for example, hurt your knee out running, so therefore you don't go running again. Because you haven't been running, it's positively reinforcing the fact that you've stopped running, and therefore it kind of encourages you not to go running. So fear avoidance is kind of, you have to work out, is it a tissue related structural issue? So in terms of, is it a case that the body was not conditioned to do the running? Might have been a running technique issue, overstriding, or it may actually be a kind of specific kind of inflammation pathology kind of relating to the knee structure itself, so kind of having to do an objective assessment to find out that. The catch with this is you can also have a psychological related fear avoidance. So that might be a case of someone scared to go running because their doctor told them it was bad for their joints, or the doctor told them it would cause arthritis. So therefore they stop and they don't even consider it, and they psychologically built up a fear of doing that said task. So for example, kind of had a lady in a couple of weeks ago, she normally a keen runner, having some back pain, long-standing back pain, but it's lasted a couple of weeks longer than it does normally with her. She was getting herself really worried, and you could tell she'd done all her conditioning exercises, but she still hadn't gone for a run. And what you find with this kind of fear avoidance population is that you could logically reason with them and go through everything education-wise and make really good plans with them, but ultimately, if it's just written down, it has no true meaning. You have to do the said task with them. So freezing as it was, brought her outside, right, let's go for a run. So I literally tore off, kind of went running with her for 3-4 minutes. And then at the end of the run, I was like, right, how did that feel? Was that painful? And she was like, no. I was like, when are you going to go running again? tomorrow. I was like, perfect. So you have to kind of do the said task that they're scared of. And, you know, you might have to regress it. You might have to break it down, explain the component parts in it, and then help them understand it from that point of view. Ooh, that's fear avoidance. Anxiety. So anxiety people and patients, they're the ones who come in very worried, very orientated about the future, kind of constantly focused about thinking they're going to end up in a wheelchair, using terms, all future tenses. And they'll normally come in really high tone, sit up really tall, talk a million mile an hour, and I've had this pain since then, and it's been really upsetting me, and I'm really worried about what's going to happen in the future. My mum had this as well, and she had some arthritis now, and she's struggling. So then you see their mind, how it's working. So they're kind of getting fixated, ruminating, kind of obsessing about the future, catastrophizing their symptoms, thinking that they're going to end up like someone that they know. Particularly, it's generally going to be related to like a family issue where they'll attribute what happened to their parents or family, and think that it'll happen to them as well after them seeing the suffering that person went through. So these lots and lots of relaxation strategies. So again, breathing, meditation, mindfulness, I don't care what you want to call it. You just need to get people to calm that sympathetic nervous system down in their fight or flight state to a rest and digest parasympathetic state. How you do that, that's up to you, but generally has to involve kind of an awareness of their breathing and their postural state. So it's trying to get them to slump. So you don't want these people kind of going around doing loads of postural exercises because it doesn't really help. They need kind of like get some relaxation stuff going and actually focusing more on getting the body kind of to flex. So lots of stretches, mobility stuff works better in my experience with this population. Cool. That is the biopsychosocial model unpicked. Drop your comments below, let me know what you think, and hit me up for any other further information. I'll go through these things a little bit more in detail, but key take-home messages: if you think that someone's a bit anxious and worried, get them breathing, get them kind of doing some relaxation strategies. Mindfulness works. If they're fear avoidant, you need to do the task with them, get them to bend down, in different ways, and try and actually break down the component parts of that movement that they're scared or fearful of. Depression, get them moving, get them exercising, get them up, get them educated as well. Education, then exercise, and get doing something that's going to get some exercise that's a bit of high intensity, that's going to kind of build up their sympathetic nervous system, that gets them a bit out of breath, because you almost want to get them from that kind of rest and digest state into that kind of bit more kind of hyperactive and a bit more sympathetic. So that's it, my man. Enjoy. Hopefully people take some value from it. It's number 2 vlog out of the way. Check it out.